Do your scenes sometimes feel meandering? Are you forcing your characters to leap to conclusions to keep your story going? Are you worried that you've got too much action or not enough? The goal to decision cycle could be the key to scene writing you've been searching for. In this video, we'll explain the technique of using head and tail scenes to balance action and reflection in your novel and break them down into smaller components. For more detail, don't forget to check out the text article that accompanies this video. If you like our resources, then please do follow us on social media. Now, let's get started. Hi, I'm Kat, creator of The Novel Factory. The Novel Factory is software that demystifies novel writing and provides advice and guidance to developing writers. Head scenes and tail scenes. Roughly speaking, head scenes are where your character is being active, taking the initiative, probably getting themselves into trouble. These scenes are obviously important because they're exciting and keep readers interested. But if the action is unrelenting, the reader will become fatigued, and even the most exciting action will begin to feel monotonous. So we balance head scenes with tail scenes, sections where the characters take some time to stop, reflect, and regroup. Tail scenes are also useful because they give the opportunity for character development and emotional evolution. By skillfully alternating between these two types of scenes and energies, it is possible to keep the stakes rising throughout the story, while taking the reader on a roller coaster of tension, giving them just enough time to almost recover from one conflict before plunging them into the next. It's important to note that although you'll have roughly the same number of head and tail scenes, they don't have to take up an equal proportion of the story, and their balance dictates how your story feels. If 80% of your prose is contained within the head scenes, you've got a fast-paced action-type story. If it's stacked 80% in favour of tail scenes, it will be a slower-paced and more reflective, thoughtful story. Both of these types of story are perfectly good. What's important is that the balance of action and reflection suits the type of story you're aiming to write. One more pointer. Generally, head scenes should be immediate and in the moment, whereas tail scenes often compress time, skipping over weeks, months, or even years in a few sentences or pages. Next, let's break down each of these types of scene into its component parts. Head scenes can be broken down into three parts: goal, conflict, and disaster. At the beginning of a head scene, your character should have some kind of goal, something they want to achieve. But then there is conflict. Something stops them achieving their goal. Now your reader is interested. They want to know if the character is going to overcome this obstacle to achieve their goal. But then, disaster. Not only does your character not achieve their goal, but they're in a much worse situation than before they started. After all that excitement, they're spent. They need some time to react to what's just happened, reflect and regroup. That means it's time for a tail scene. Tail scenes can also be broken down into three parts: reaction, dilemma, and decision. Their immediate reaction to the disaster should be an emotional and physical one. Are they furious? Despairing? They've been through a lot. They ought to feel something. Once the emotions have had a chance to settle, they're going to start assessing the situation. What are they going to do next? Ideally, all of the options open to them look bad. Having weighed up all the options, the character settles on one, the least bad one. Though it's risky, it's worth it in order to stick to their principles. Now they've got a goal, and the cycle is ready to turn once more. If you can achieve mastery of this cycle, your story will keep gaining momentum and will feel balanced and real to the reader. You will avoid having a character that seems to just leap to conclusions out of nowhere, or meandering scenes with no direction. Of course, you may really need a scene where your character sets out to do something and achieves it, or something else which doesn't fit into the structure above. That's fine. You can insert supporting scenes or incidents wherever you need them. just try to keep them to a minimum, or you may find that your story has lost the plot. Try mapping out the goal to decision cycle for your novel and see how the plot and characters develop. The Novel Factory allows you to save your goal to decision cycle notes as part of the supporting data for your scene. If you'd like to read the article that goes along with this video, you can find the link below. The next step in the novel writing roadmap is character development.